My wife's envy over our son's newfound cooking talent has created a deep divide in our family, and I'm now grappling with whether our marriage is worth saving. My wife, being Italian, has always been the heart of our kitchen, and her culinary skills were one of the reasons I fell so deeply in love with her. I've offered to pitch in with cooking or make meals for her occasionally, but she's always gently declined, and I can't fault her for it since I didn't inherit any cooking prowess from my parents. Because of this, I've made it a point to express gratitude for every dish she prepares, and I've instilled the same habit in our children. Over the past year, my son has been engrossed in cooking tutorials on YouTube and TikTok, eager to try his hand at creating meals. My wife was thrilled to guide him, and they started a routine of going to the store together twice a week to pick out ingredients for recipes he found online, then cooking together at home. It's been heartwarming to see them grow closer, as they hadn't shared many common interests before. About a month ago, after dinner, my son asked his mom if he could prepare a meal for the family by himself. I thought it was a fantastic idea, but my wife hesitated before reluctantly agreeing. That Saturday, she took him shopping for ingredients, and he got to work in the kitchen. She checked in on him occasionally, but he insisted he could handle it alone, so she eventually joined my daughter and me in the living room, looking a bit downcast. I reassured her that our son would still want to cook with her and was just excited to try something solo. This seemed to lift her spirits slightly, though she still appeared uneasy. When the meal was ready and we sat down to eat, I was genuinely impressed by how well he did on his own. I hate to admit it, but after only a year of cooking with his mom, I expected more mistakes. Wanting to nurture his passion, I praised his efforts enthusiastically during dinner, pointing out a few minor errors gently to encourage improvement. I realize now that I overdid the compliments compared to how I usually acknowledge my wife's cooking, and that's likely what sparked the tension. Our daughter, being the typical younger sibling, was less kind, rudely criticizing his dish. I was about to correct her manners and remind her to be grateful when my wife made a noise, pushed her plate aside, and agreed with our daughter, saying the food was too salty and overdone. This stunned me, and I could see it hit my son hard, his mood visibly sinking. I stayed quiet at the time, as my wife and I avoid arguing in front of the kids, and I continued to praise his efforts while my wife picked at her food before taking her and our daughter's plates to the kitchen. Later, I checked on my son and found him visibly upset, likely having cried. I comforted him, assuring him his mom loved the meal and was probably just having an off day, urging him not to take it to heart. That night after the kids were asleep, I confronted my wife. She tried to dismiss it, but I pressed, and she snapped, accusing me of praising his cooking far more than I ever praised hers. I was shocked that she was jealous of our son, and I let out an unintended scoff. This set her off, and we argued heatedly until I explained that I was ENCOUR a GING Chinese letter.